Hello, this is the first of the series of videos we decided to make with regards to different upgrades on the Macs, especially iMacs, MacBook Pro, MacBook Air. There is a lot of confusions. There's a different type of hard drives, SSDs, and all of it. So I will try to bring a little bit of a light onto this topic and also try to save money to our potential customers by showing them that what is possible and what they could invest or what they maybe not need to invest and so on. So let's head to the storage and the Mac storage, and we will start with the iMacs because these are the most complicated, I believe, of all. The latest possible upgrades from the inside of the iMac would be up to 2019. Anything newer after 2019 is basically not upgradable from inside. You can still get some Thunderbolt 3 solutions or Thunderbolt 4 solution for these iMacs, like external enclosures or external SSDs, but nothing is from inside. No SSD upgrade inside, no memory upgrade inside. It's all soldered on the motherboard. So let's say go to 2019 and start with 27 inches. So it's the model ID is iMac19, it's model number A2115 EMC3194. You can find this number on the bottom of the leg of your iMac. And the model identifier, how to find it is easy. You click the Apple icon in the left upper corner, then the Windows appears. You click more info, you get into system report, you click system report, and then the top hardware overview, you will see the model identifier. So these iMac mostly come from the factory as the 1 TB Fusion configuration of drives, which means that if it is a Fusion, it means that it has a 1 TB hard drive and the likely 128 or 256 GB flash PCIe SSD. The Fusion is the Apple creation, where the intention was to speed up the standard hard drive because the hard drive is quite slow. The magnetic rotational hard drive is quite slow, and with the combination with the PCIe SSD and creating the Fusion, you bring up the speed of your drive for about 500 meg per second, 550, which is an equivalent of SATA 3.6G speed. Whilst if you don't have a Fusion, you have just a hard drive, no PCIe SSD, no Fusion, you would more likely be going around 70-80 megabyte per second on the hard drive. So this iMac comes either configured as a Fusion or configured as non-Fusion. So non-Fusion means there will be only hard drive, magnetic hard drive in it, 3.5 inches. It's a big hard drive. Now, if you have the version with the hard drive only, so you would likely want to change the hard drive for the SSD and maybe possibly upgrade the PCIe SSD as well, add PCIe SSD to it as well. So you will get, if you upgrade the hard drive for SATA SSD, you will get around 550, 560 megabyte per second on the 2.5 inch SSD. And if you also add a PCIe SSD, you can easily achieve over 2000 megabyte per second on using the PCIe SSD alone. So you would maybe reserve the PCIe SSD for your Mac operating system and for your applications you're running, especially if you're video editor or photo editor, so you want rendering and editing go fast. And then you would use your SATA SSD as the data storage basically. So and if you have a Fusion, so it means that you already have SSD in it and a hard drive. Then you can also change the hard drive and upgrade the PCI SSD onto the higher capacity, perhaps 512 gigabyte or 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes, depends on your need. So we have created a couple of bundles kits for the upgrades of the main primary hard drive, which is that 3.5 inch. So if you search for the kit to swap HDD for SSD, then we have the 5 bundles here. So the 2 bundles are uh, with OWC Mercury line of SSDs. Then we have a bundle with the Transcend S230 SSD, then Integral SSD, and with the Crucial MX500 SSD. So these are all good quality SSD bundles, and you will get everything with them to successfully change your primary hard drive on these iMacs. So you get your adapter, so you can supplicate a smaller 2.5-inch SSD for the size of the 3.5-inch SSD. You get your thermal sensor, you get your screwdrivers, you get your screen wheel, so you can detach the screen from the iMac because it's glued with tapes on, and then you have your suction cups and also the anti-static cloth on which you can put your iMac on, and you also get a set of tapes, so you can you can reset the iMac screen back using these tapes. They are sticky tapes, so you will have to stick them on the frame of the iMac. Then they are double. There's like a double tape, so it's sticky on both sides, and so that's how you reattach your iMac screen then. So the SSDs are really also good quality. It's a Crucial MX500, which is the one of the best SSDs on the market. It's Integral, maybe not that known brand, but it's very high, good quality SSD, and also the Transcend. It's one of the good. These all four, and Mercury Electra. These all four are basically kind of like a budget SSDs for the standard users uh, who don't really do anything professionally, occasionally, gaming and browsing. If you are professional and you need a more durable maybe SSD or more terabyte written on the SSD, then you should consider the Mercury Extreme. It's more expensive, but because you're professional and you want to keep your work, flowing, you get a more kind of like a more assurance that you're getting a slightly better durable SSD. You don't get better speed because the SATA speed there is a bottleneck around 550 megabytes per second. So you don't get a better speed with this SSD, but you get more terabyte written. So the there is a more terabyte you can write on this SSD in its lifetime, like perhaps on the others. But it's all up to consideration. So then, when you want to also upgrade your PCI SSD, or you want to add PCI SSD, then you would be searching for the kit which will add or replace PCI SSD. And here we have the fledging. The fledging, unfortunately, they're no longer in the business. We still have some SSDs, but we still offer warranty and all, so there is no issue. So if you decide to purchase one of these, a very good SSD, and it's still 5 years warranty, so it's all covered. Then we have the SSD kit with our SSD and Flex SSD, and then we have the Aura X2 SSD kit. Now, we encourage you to buy the whole kit as well. I know that you already would have a tapes with the first kit, but there are also some screwdrivers you will need, which you don't get with the kit for the 2.5-inch SSD, and there is also this hex key you will need as well. So we encourage you not to buy just a SSD, but to buy the whole kit as well. You will at least get the second tape, like a backup tapes. If anything, if you ever need to open your Mac again, you will get your tapes. You can of course buy a standard SSDs, like only SSDs if you want. If you have all tools needed and you don't need anything else, then you can buy the SSDs only, or you can buy the PCI SSD only, and you have already tools, so that's okay. You can do that also. But you will still, if you're changing the primary hard drive, you would still need your adapter as well. These, or so I will try to find it here. Just give me a second. But you will still need this adapter, and you still need a sensor. Okay, so that's the adapter. So this is how it look like. They use the hard drive here in the picture, but this would be your SSD, and this frame, this is basically just a supplicate for the 3.5-inch hard drive, so you can actually fit it into drive bay. You will also need this thermal sensor for the 2012 to 2019. Otherwise, your fan will go the fan on your iMac will go on all the times. So you need this, and I will include all links in the description there below of the video. But I just wanted to show you how these actually look inside the Mac. So as you can see, this is the primary hard drive. Okay, so you see this is the HDD bay, and the adapter I showed you. It's basically functioning just a fill up for this space, because your SSD will be maybe this size, and it's got is the connectors here. So then you will use the sensor to connect it here. All this cable. I encourage you to watch the video. I will include the link to this video as well in the description, so you can watch the whole process, how this is done. And the same applies for PCI SSD. So if you want to change the flash SSD, the OWC has the videos for it. And again, this is your slot for the PCI SSD. So this is how you insert it in. Then you fix it by on a standoff with the one screw, and that's basically it. I will also include this video link on the description, so you can watch all and see. You can then compare if you want to do it yourself, or maybe you will bring this to professional to have it done by a professional. It's quite a complicated process. Especially when you do the PCI SSD, you need to take apart the whole iMac basically. Now, if you change hard drive for the SSD and also you add PCI SSD, you no longer need to do fusion. Fusion was really meant to fuse your PCI flash SSD with the hard drive, with the mechanical hard drive. Once you change your main hard drive for SSD and PCI SSD as well, you upgrade the PCI to bigger size. You don't need to do fusion. You just use them separately. I would recommend to use PCI SSD because it's faster for the Mac OS and for any app you want to run. And 2.5-inch SSD, just to keep it as a backup drive for your data and for your completed work. So let's say you render movie or something, you do it on a PCI SSD, and then you can transfer the finished movie onto the 2.5-inch standard SSD, and that's how you keep it safe. And don't forget the backup. The SSDs are it's a very sensitive. They don't give you any warning that they're going to quit. If you have a mechanical hard drive and some sectors start to go bad, it gives you the warning. You will not be able maybe to copy something from that, or you will not be able to write file on that hard drive. It will give you indication that something is falling on a hard drive, and you have still time to back up everything and then change it. With SSD, because they run on such a big speed, sometimes they just quit and without the backup. So it's important to do the backup really for the SSD. It's hard to recover data from it. It's possible, but it costs a lot of money. So I would recommend to do the real-time backup. You have a time machine, just to get some external hard drive. It doesn't have to be very expensive. Ordinary hard drive, external hard drive for 40, maybe 50 quid, and connect it always to your iMac and set up a time machine to do backup or real-time backup. And that's the best way to go. Right. So this would be regarding the hard drives and SSD. So again, if you're looking for the whole kit, search for the kit to swap HDD for SSD, and you will get these options. And then also, if you want to upgrade your PCIe SSD, go for the kit to add replace PCIe SSD, and that gives you these options. Okay, so they have Aura. Again, if you're professional, I would recommend you go for this kit with the Aura SSD. If you're not really professional, like you just a regular user, go for these cheaper ones. Still good, but for the professional, I would recommend the Aura X2 anyway. And yes, so now in terms of memory, you can upgrade the memory on this as well. The maximum memory is 128 gigabyte. It's a DDR4 2666 megahertz. So it means that you can add 32 gigabyte into each slot. You have 4 memory slots in these iMacs. So they each can accept 32 gigabyte of memory. We have some Samsungs and Hynix. Hynix and OWC memory for this. And also the transient memory. So all you need to know is you can go up to 128 gigabytes. So if you want to change all memory, you will have like 8 gigabyte memory standard. So that would more likely be 2x4. So the 2 slots are empty. You can still keep your 2x4, and you can just go and install 2x8 or 2x16 or 2x32. It will still work. There is no really requirement that each memory has to be the same. The iMac doesn't have these requirements. You can keep 2 4 gigs you bought it from, and you can install any of these 2 combinations. Or you can remove them all if you want to go max. And you go for 64 for this kit, but you buy 2 because you want to get 4 slots. So this gives you 2 memory. So for the 4 slot you need 4 memory. So you buy 2 of these, or you buy 2 of these, or you buy 2 of these. So that's your options. And then on a brand, it's up to you. You can go for Hynix or OWC, Samsung, Transcend, all good. The memory has a lifetime warranty. Anybody who sells you memory who is really like a reputable brand like us or Flex or somebody else, it always gives you a lifetime warranty for your memory. So unless you break it or you do anything to it, like in terms of damage, if anything happens to the memory while it is installed in the Mac, just you will get a replacement. There is nobody will give you any hard time with this, especially the reputable retailers. They will honor the warranty. So this is it for this iMac and iMac 19,1. That's basically all I wanted to discuss. There is also, again, because it has a Thunderbolt 3 ports, you can also search for the external upgrades. It's not much here. We only want, but you can use our upgrade tool, search upgrade tool, where you can go for the iMac. Now it's a 2019, and it's a 19,1. Okay, so if you search for the more upgrades, this is the best way to go, because if you use this tool, it offers you everything what we have compatible for this iMac. Everything will be here. It's tools and service kits, dogs and hubs, memory, storage, enclosures, adapters, all of it. So then you would go for storage, and if you want a narrow search, you can click on external storage, and now it shows you shows just the external. Okay, so there is some Sonnet dock, Thunderbolt 3 dock with the 2 slots with NVMe SSDs in it. This is external SSD, Thunderbolt 3. This is very good SSD to be used with this iMac. Also the Thunderblade, it's more expensive, but it's a Pro. This is the Pro external SSD. It comes with the, it actually comes with the case. So you can carry, with the carry case, so you can carry it about, as you can see there, there is NVMe's SSDs installed, and this is the carry case. It's perfect for the professionals who need to go to terrain and shoot something and then quickly transfer it. It's very fast, and it's a really good quality. It's one of the best external SSDs for the use. So this will conclude this first video. I hope this video helped you to decide what to go with regard to this iMac. As I said, if you're professional, maybe go for the more durable, even though it's more expensive. But if you're just a standard user, anything on a budget would do as well, because even though the budget, the bundles we have, they are still made with the high quality SSDs. All of these SSDs is 5 years warranty. So if anything happens, you have to, something happens on SSD, you have to change it. We will replace SSD, and we also give replacement tapes, because obviously you need to detach your screen, so you don't get only replacement SSD, you get your tapes as well with it. So that's how it goes. So if any questions or anything, you can always contact us, and I wish you all the best, and see you in the next video, which will be for 2019 iMac, but 21.5 inch. Goodbye, and see you later.